When it comes to corn herbicides, you've got a lot of options anymore. You know, when Darren and I were growing up, there were almost no options. So you just put out the one or two products that we had, and that was pretty much it. But now we like to talk about both grass control and broadleaf control, and today we really wanted to focus on broadleaf control because it seems like all these Roundup resistant weeds, or at least most of them, are broadleaves. So if you're going to have great weed control, you've got to get those broadleaves stopped, and we want to get 2 shots on them. We want to do something post, but it sure helps if you can do something pre as well.
We're seeing many farmers across the country that are in a 2 or 3 crop rotation. Let's just say that it's a 2 crop rotation and it's corn one year, soybeans the next year. If they're having trouble controlling those broadleaf weeds in soybeans, they're looking at that corn year in the rotation as a chance to really knock them out. Stop them from going to seed, hit them really hard, and hopefully reduce the pressure going into next year's soybeans.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of people are using a whole bunch of atrazine pre-emerge, and we really hate to see that. The reason why is atrazine is pretty leachable, and when you put it on pre-emerge, you don't have any crop growing, you don't have any roots in the ground, you're getting a lot of rainfall usually at that time, you don't have as much sunlight to get rid of the atrazine. What I'm trying to say is when you put atrazine on pre, you are taking a serious environmental risk, and we don't want you to do that. I know that atrazine does have some good weed killing power, but save that atrazine for post-emerge use. You're going to have way less chance that that atrazine can end up down in the groundwater, and even though atrazine is as safe as table salt when you look at the LD50, non-farmers don't understand that. So use it the right way. Don't use atrazine pre-emerge.
Here's the other thing, Brian. In soybeans, we'll talk about don't use your post-emerge broadleaf options pre-emerge. So we see a lot of different products that have First Rate or Flex Star in them or Pursuit. We say, you know, save those options for post, don't use them pre. In corn, we have all kinds of options post-emerge. We don't have huge resistance issues, so we certainly can use one mode of action that we could possibly use post. We can move that into a pre-emerge use and then just pick a different mode of action post. We're still going to do a great job controlling the broadleaves.
And where Darren's going with this is the HPPDs. Things like Callisto, Loudus, Impact, Armazon that you could use post. You could also use that in products pre-emerge.
Or even Hornet. We can use that where we've got a Stinger and also an ALS product. Well, we can use that pre-emerge because we're going to come back post with, say, Status or Bucktroll or something different, or even an HPPD product.
Yeah, so we don't really care what you're using pre-emerge. It's just we want you using something that's going to have activity on those broadleaves.
The other thing that's really changed over the last few years has been guys have been using cut rates in front of their corn. I do think we need to be boosting our levels up, probably another 25%, or at least just getting back to close to that full labeled rate, because we're seeing some weeds squeak through our program. We can do a better job pre, we've got good yield potential in our corn right now, and we still have a decent price. So you can certainly afford to do it and get a good return on investment.
If you are having problems with Roundup resistant weeds on your farm, we really encourage you to take a look at some of these broadleaf herbicides that can be used pre-emerge in corn in addition to the grass herbicide, or maybe it's a combination like Balance Flex does have grass activity and broadleaf activity. Our point is we just want to see you getting not only grass control but also at least some broadleaf control pre-emerge in corn, so it makes the post-emerge job you have to do a lot easier.
Well, I wish it was easier to control our weed of the week. We'll reveal some of the ways you might get it under control coming up next.